Wait for it. Wait. What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into the first live episode of the Anti-Gravity Group podcast.
Woo!
My name is Braden Carlson.
My name's Taylor Jesse.
My name is Shane, or as you might know me, Postart.
My name is Matthew, or maybe Macho Match. One of those.
The beautiful. It's the mic
not
choices for Macho Matt are never disappointing. That's what I thought. I was about to ask. I was like, it
Yeah.
didn't sound like it got any louder as you got closer to it.
We can all pretend that it works, though.
Right. Okay. Well, if you missed it last time Matt was on the podcast, he had like a David Lee Roth headset mic thing going on, or like a work from home call center mom core type thing.
Yeah.
And then the first one, would you use like a rock band mic? Is that what that is?
Yeah, something like that.
All right. So
Audio technical.
I think it's a karaoke mic.
Yeah, probably.
we're working on getting Matt situated with some better audio. Yeah, so thank you guys for all being here. What is up? This, like I said, the first live Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and we're going to basically immediately upload this to Buzzsprout and everywhere else. So if you couldn't be here for the live portion of things, we apologize, but perhaps we can execute some more of these in the near future. Today, we are talking about Rocketry holiday gifts, what you can get people that obviously it's a little late notice now to order a rocket kit and expect it to be delivered, but there are still tons and tons of things that are applicable to the rocket people in your life. Or if people are still asking you what you want for Christmas, here is going to be a great place to figure out some things that you might want to tell them to have thrown on your Christmas list. So without further ado, I guess we can dive straight in. Does anybody want to volunteer to throw out something first? I have a list of some stuff, and I have some input from the lovely Rocket Vlogs Patreon people, but we got nowhere to be and all the time in the world to get there. So let's really hash this out.
I haven't gone first before, so
Yeah,
Have
do
at
I
it
it.
up.
suppose might as well. Yeah. First thing that I got on my list is a good set of drill bits because they go a long way. And then right below that, following up the theme of tools, I have an iFixit kit because it's really nice for electronics. You can pick
Yeah.
them up at Home Depot and Best Buy.
Or
Those are
on
great.
Amazon with the Rocket Vlogs affiliate link, and then I
True.
get like 35 cents. So if
Yeah.
you want to hook it up.
This one you can't get in a store, but it is something that you can have immediately, and it's just a like gift certificate or gift card to like Wildman or Lock Precision or something like that if you're not too certain on what to get someone.
And
And
okay,
then-
for a second, can we talk about how like it's for some reason some sort of a faux pas in a lot of people's minds to get somebody a gift card? Like it's an easy cop out. Well, how do you guys feel about that? Because I love a gift card. I'm like,
They're
nothing
great.
knows more that I want than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, especially, I've never gotten something specialized like a Wildman gift card, but I would be so stoked on it.
Yeah.
My cousin actually got me, not that cousin, a different cousin got me in our Secret Santa trade, and he bought me a Wildman gift card, and I was like, this is the best Secret Santa gift I've ever
Yeah.
got.
Because he could have just got you trash.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
You know,
Instead, he
it's the
didn't.
thought that counts. So, it would be thoughtful trash, but you know,
Right, yeah. But like nothing
useful trash
knows,
is better.
nothing tells me you know me more than being like, I don't know what all of the crazy stuff you're getting into is. It changes every day. So here's money. Take this
Yeah.
money and do what you want with it.
But I think the gift card gets a bad rap because you can tell when someone's really phoning it in, where you get the rogue gift card where they're like, they don't even.
the Outback
something
Steakhouse
super
one.
random. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
that's
Where
true.
just
From
like
the
you
end
saw it
catalog.
at checkout and you're like, this is the only gift card here. So we're
This will
gonna
do,
get- yeah, a Boost Mobile gift card or something.
Boost Mobile.
Be like, oh, thanks. This will be perfect.
What is a little
Bronze gift
unfortunate though
card?
is like the Visa gift cards that like have fees associated with them. Like if you don't maintain it or whatever, like the green dot ones,
Yeah.
for some there's like a
Yeah.
annual fee or something like that if you don't spend it all,
But
which has never
I'm
been
a,
a problem for me. I'll volunteer that information.
I'm kind of a fan of the Amazon gift card because you can find
Oh
a
yeah.
variety of things on Amazon, and everyone is happy to receive or give that. So
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's I think studies have shown that there's a lot of stuff on Amazon.
I think that's
Studies have
right.
shown.
Yeah.
I've heard that. I have heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
sorry, Postar, to
I'll-
interrupt there, but
No,
what
you're
were you gonna say,
good.
Taylor?
Well, I didn't know if we were going, are we running through a list and going to the next person, or are we just gonna
I think
trade off?
Postar's got more, so let's
Okay.
let him
Yeah,
rip.
I've
Let 'em
got a
have it.
couple more. I've got
Sorry.
some Bob Smith epoxy because you can get that in stores as
That's
well as
true.
JB Weld.
Yeah, like almost every hobby shop will have Bob Smith epoxy, and yeah, JB Weld. Literally even Walmart
Yeah.
sells JB Weld, and like even the huge ones now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then this one really only applies if like you fly big rockets, and it's kind of, well, I'll just say it. But 5/8 or 1-inch nylon webbing from REI.
yeah, yeah, that's a pretty deep cut, and I always think about REI as like an Idaho thing for some reason. There are, I mean, it's a little niche. You might not have one close by, but they are out there.
Yeah,
So that's, I mean, just having like hundreds of feet of that. I wonder how much a whole spool is from REI, because that would be awesome.
that would be incredible.
That's a great gift. So one cool thing about the live podcast aspect is that we have the chat rolling. So real quickly, I just wanted to dip in here and see some suggestions. Say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody that's saying hi. Um, Home Depot gift card was pitched as one, which is phenomenal.
One of maybe my favorite general use gift cards.
Yeah.
Big fan of the Home Depot
Dude,
Yeah,
I love Home
for
Depot.
for all kinds of things.
And Visa, just general Visa gift card, also very applicable, but pretty interchangeable with the Amazon one at this point. If there's something you can find not on Amazon, I'd be pretty impressed. But yeah, does that wrap up your list there, Posthart?
It does, yeah.
All
It's a
right.
good
So who wants to?
Um,
You up, Taylor?
I'll go next.
right.
So I didn't show up prepared. I didn't make a list, but we got some stuff churning in the noggin, so we're gonna go ahead with it. I will say this time of year, Home Depot has the pop-in holiday sales at the front of the store. People that frequent Home Depot know what I'm talking about, and go a like a 12-volt cordless drill, get a Milwaukee or Ryobi. I actually at one time, my dad, this is years and years ago when I was probably still in high school, my dad got me a 12-volt Ryobi just for rocket stuff. And it's like I see so many people on the field. I always bring a drill with me to a rocket launch, and it had its own case and everything. And I still use that Ryobi drill, and its only purpose, not used in the garage, just to take to rocket launches. And then, so I think that's the perfect gift, is to have a drill, because a lot of people don't realize they need it, and then they get into a situation at the field when they realize they need a drill, and then you find the guy with the drill, and it's super exciting. So I'm happy to be the guy with the drill, but I think a perfect gift would be to get someone the drill. That's
Yeah,
something
you're
everyone can have. If
alleviating.
you don't, yeah,
You're alleviating you being the drill guy. You're like, I think a perfect gift for everybody else would be nobody having to borrow my drill anymore. In our gun range.
exactly. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. But every time I run into a situation where I use the drill in the field, I'm like so happy that I have it. Especially like if you go to Harbor Freight and get the sanding drum kit, lifesaver.
Yeah.
Especially if you're flying anything that has giant couplers that jam always.
Yeah. Like a 12-inch Punisher.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you have anything with a gel coat nose cone.
Right. I see a lot of cool ideas coming into the chat. I just wanted to let you guys know that you are seen, but we're gonna visit you guys here after we've all been uh, through our concepts, and I'm gonna specifically ask you guys for some stuff when we dip into the Patreon mailbag. So keep those in mind and get ready to blast me with them here in a little bit. But yeah, the drill is a really good one. I after seeing your drill just like on hand, well, actually after using it for my 54 to re-drill the holes for my electronics bay, I was like, I am
Ooh.
definitely going to start bringing a drill.
The other thing, which I actually don't have yet, but it's on my short list of things I need that I'm waiting for a good moment. But now you can get the battery powered rotary tool, like, or doesn't have to be Dremel brand, but basically a battery powered Dremel,
That's nice.
because it's besides a Dremel's infinitely useful at it. There's times at the field like you need to make a a design change last minute. Sort of
Right,
like that would have
yeah.
came in handy for Braden's couple of Braden's flights, but I had some
Oh, a
hacksaw
couple,
blades and
I
things
see.
that worked worked for the case, but a Dremel would have made it a lot easier. So
Yeah, that dude, I always when people ask, they're like, "What is the first tool you recommend for rocket sim?" It is always a Dremel, and like just like even one of the cheap like $15 accessory kits from Walmart, just generic
I
rotary tool kits,
I
they
think when I
go
first got
so
Matt into
far.
I think when I first got Matt into Rockets, I had you buy a Dremel, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got the cheaper one though. Not like the
Yeah.
cheapest one, but
What's the plug-in one?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Which is
Um,
great. I've been using a single speed corded one for like 20 years or something like that,
yeah.
and it's still kicking. It rules.
That's good.
All right, well,
um,
Matt, do you want to throw some recommendations in the ring for
Yeah,
Rocket Guy
yeah.
colloidal
Um,
silica?
I think probably top on my list, as you all are probably guessing, is a couple 9-volt batteries for that way.
Good
Dude,
call.
honestly,
Yeah, that way, whatever electronics you pack in, and hopefully if they run off 9 volts, they'll be fresh and there won't be any issues there. But yeah, batteries
Man, I
is
know
an
what to
easy
get
one.
Matt for Christmas.
Yeah, I could use a couple. And then altimeters are nice. Those are pretty. That's also pretty pricey. Um, what else
I
would be
think we're
good?
a little late on the getting an altimeter delivered before Christmas thing
Yeah.
too.
Oh, we're talking before
We're
Christmas.
on last minute. Last minute. What can we
Yeah,
get right now and
You can
make
go
it
to
not
9
Hobby
volts
look?
is
Lobby.
solid.
Go to
Yeah,
Hobby
9 volts is
Lobby.
good.
Get, get yourself a pack of Estes. Some
C60
cool.
C65s.
motors.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Get some cool park flying.
I mean, in the
Little
grand scheme of
kit.
things, it's not a horrible gift.
No, but that's really more low powers or mid powers, so it's really not.
Hey, we like it all, baby.
Yes, sir.
Maybe popsicle sticks. Those are nice to have for
Yeah,
That
mixing.
is
big time.
good. Yeah.
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 And
The
yeah,
big
for
box of
mixing,
popsicle sticks.
yeah,
Gift that keeps
and you
on
can you
giving.
can leave them in your
Multiple
rocket for
sizes.
later.
That
Great.
that actually wasn't on my list, but one that came to mind when you said that was the big bulk pack of chip brushes from Harbor Freight. If you
Oh
need
yeah.
out of
Oh, yeah.
fiberglassing,
Mm.
it's like $10 for like 50 of them. A
Yeah, that's the
godsend.
best. One of the best deals in
I thought about
local
giving one
rocket
away
buys.
on Patreon because I just bought one like a couple weeks ago and then found the one that I had bought like 2 months before I moved and packed. So I was like, oh my God, I have like 90 of these. But
It's so nice to have too, because you can just use them recklessly. The
yeah,
giant box of chip brushes.
and
I just
I
finished
might be
mine that I
crazy.
bought last year.
I'm pretty sure in my experience, the ones from the bulk box, they don't lose the bristles as much.
No, the ones I had the Harbor Freight ones I had were good.
Yeah, the ones I
The
kept
ones I
buying
got
from
from
Lowe's
Home
and Home
Depot were
Depot.
not as good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they would just shed like Nigel, the anti-gravity cat.
Don't say it too loud. He'll come. He's not in here right now.
Yeah, he's gonna hit us with the meow from the background. All right, so I'm gonna power through my list here real quick. Um, feel free to throw some stuff at me, gentlemen, while I'm reading these out. And then we are going to dip into the Patreon comments and the YouTube live chat. So actually, first up on my list was a Dremel. So we've already been through that, but if I could reiterate, please, if you don't have a Dremel and someone wants to know what you want, I'm pretty sure the corded single speed ones are like $28 now. Ask for it. Or if you're shopping for your Rocketry loved one in your life and they don't have a Dremel, do it. And if they do, buy them just like a ton of accessories for it. Which is also on my list. Dremel accessory kit. A host of quarter 20 hardware is what I put. Like a couple 6-foot pieces of all thread, tons of like jam nuts and washers.
That's incredibly practical, but would be a funny gift to receive.
Right, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a bunch.
Imagine like
Here's a bunch of quarter 20 hardware. Oh, thanks. That's what I wanted.
a family Christmas. Like people just like, whoa, 20 feet all thread and a 150 contractor pack of
20
nuts.
feet of all thread? That's
A package of
remarkable.
nuts isn't as funny, but I'm picturing the 6-foot all thread with just wrapping paper around
Just
it.
wrapping paper, yeah.
I wonder
Wrap
what it
each
is.
individual nut and put them in stockings.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
That's
That's-
demented.
That's fun.
What I put on here is like just a big array of sandpaper through varying grits.
Mhm.
I
Oh, yeah,
actually
I was gonna
bought
say that.
Yeah.
a really nice like kit for when I was doing high polish stuff that was like 800 through 3000. It was like $14 on Amazon. It was like 100 sheets of sandpaper. But if I can be specific, the 3M purple sandpaper.
Yeah,
It,
if
it
that's a
never
good
clogs.
if you know that they're doing like fiberglass and stuff, or like maybe sanding a 9-inch Arcus for 10 hours when it's 105 degrees outside,
Just for
that
example,
sandpaper is invaluable. Yeah, not no
me and Braden
specific like
we actually started sanding the Arcus and had to make a trip specifically to Home Depot to get the purple sandpaper because we were getting clogged up so bad, and we knew
Wow.
that
And
was
then
the answer.
we had 2 orbital sanders there, and we were looking because they sell that sandpaper as an orbital sander attachment, and they didn't have it. And I was almost ready to throw the Rocket in the trash. I was like, we have to do this by hand. I think I might just be done. Just like last time when we finished, I finger painted the Punisher up to the
Yeah.
point where it's gonna take hours to sand, and then I was like, all right, well, see you, Taylor. I gotta go home. Have fun sanding and painting this huge mess. But if one of them that I have on here after that, if you're feeling like a big baller, you really love that rocket person in your life, get them a 3D printer.
Ooh.
Right now the Ender 3 V2, I don't know what they have them on sale for anymore, but they were like $179 on Black Friday, and that's what I use. And I mean, realistically around $250 is what you can generally expect for those guys, I think, at this point, or maybe $199 even if you find the right place. And then the BR or BL Touch or CR Touch, whatever the self-leveling stuff, is like another $35. But that printer, once you get it leveled once physically and just like get the nozzle clean, everything set up, it just goes and goes and goes. It's so low maintenance for a cheap printer, and I love it. So if the person has expressed any interest in 3D printing for rocketry stuff or just in general, really great printer for a pretty reasonable price. You don't have to. If I feel like if you Google 3D printer, the first thing that comes up is like Bamboo and Prusa stuff that's like $1,200.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be that scary. Or if they already have a 3D printer, like filament, straight up ask them what they like to print with, because I print with PETG, or like an enclosure for their 3D printer, because that really escalated my print quality because I was printing everything in PETG and it likes to stay hot. So having that enclosure around the printer, keeping the whole area nice and hot, all the prints are so beautiful. Like the tail cone from my JB Wild video. If you've watched that, I hope you enjoyed it. I was pretty proud of how that came out. But getting a little distracted here, but I think actually I have Home Depot, Lowe's, and hardware store gift cards on there as well, and spray paint. But specifically, I put primer because
Do
Yeah.
the high fill.
yeah, the high
What?
build like etching
Yeah,
primer and stuff like that.
yeah,
But yeah, just primer in
that's
general. 'Cause I
yeah
mean,
for sure.
some basic colors like black and white and stuff too. But like, if you just went and threw down like $75 on various sandpaper or not sandpaper paints and sandpaper while we're talking about it, I would be so excited. I'd just be like, awesome, yeah. Throw it in the paint rack. Now I
Mhm.
can paint things. But does anybody get any ideas? Anything sprung from that little tangent there?
Not really.
Mm-mm.
I had
I
one,
mean,
but I forgot in the discussion.
I I've had this thought. So it is if you are trying to get something big that's last minute, like you can maybe still get them something big, but just print it off and maybe put it on like I don't know a brick or something and wrap the brick, and they can unwrap it. Oh,
Matt
hey,
just
check it out.
admitting that he's ordered something late for his girlfriend and he came up with
No,
this.
it's just an idea. It's just an idea.
It just came to me
um,
is all.
I remember what I thought of earlier. Some if you have a Rockler wood store like
Hmm.
me and Braden found here in Kansas
Yeah, I
City.
got one.
Yes, it's that one,
Got it
Matt. Some Baltic birch because they have it there. So you get a
Yeah.
sheet of, or if you have a cabinet supply place, but a nice 5x5 sheet of Baltic birch is can high quality and last quite a while. It'd be quite the gift for a rocket person,
Quarter inch or
or
three
even just
eighths.
some light ply from Michaels. Would be thoughtful enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I mean, you could get what those little sheets of 1/8 inch plywood for
Yeah.
like $2 a piece. They even have them at Dollar Tree, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Um,
Wow.
Oh, like the
yeah, they have like a hanger.
project
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a blank sign that you can hang up in the bathroom or whatever. But I used to buy them all the time so I could make sleds out of them.
Hmm.
Great. Um, I think if that's all on that, we're going to move on to the Patreon comments. And I should say that I asked about this a week ago. So I'm going to give a pass to anybody who's commented something here that may be hard to get from this point in time for the holidays. But uh, I say that because the first one is Eric Beavers, and he says a gallon of West Systems and a can of 406 silica, which 6 days ago would have been a phenomenal play because it could
I
have been
mean,
here in time.
if you have a boat
West Marine
store,
store. Yeah.
actually they had it at Rockler too. So I mean,
Yeah,
there's
they
place
did.
you might have a place where you could find West Systems. So
Definitely. It is prohibitively expensive. Buying a gallon in store now is probably
yeah,
$230. But if
but
you're again
a
feeling like a
quart
big
would
baller,
be fine too.
yeah. Yeah, it is great stuff, especially if it's something that they use. There's never been a situation where there's never been a situation at all where somebody was just going to give me more West Systems, but there would never be a situation where I would say no to it. You know what I mean? Because I had a can of West Systems for 10 years and still kicking, still going strong. The 4-inch Punisher that I stood on was built with that 10-year-old epoxy, and I hit it with sledgehammer. No problem.
That's pretty cool.
So Eric Beavers also follows up with a Wildman membership, which is a really cool gift. Uh, it's the gift
Yeah,
of
that's a good one.
discounted everything. So
Yeah.
round of applause for Eric on that one. That's a very thoughtful rocket person gift. Plus it's what $30 for the year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty affordable one. Um, Ryan Emenegger says a small SS rocket. They're cheap, can be found at craft and hobby shops, and are fun to build and fly. So kind of aligns with Matt's recommendation over there from Hobby Lobby. But yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Like,
No, they can be
there,
fun. Yeah, I mean, they are fun.
I'll go to a hobby shop, like knowing full well that if I buy an SS rocket, it's probably gonna sit in a box forever, and I'm never gonna build it. And I still walk over there and look at them. And I'm like, oh, I want that. I want that. I want that. I know I'm not gonna build those, but like me having it gives me that little serotonin release. So that is a great recommendation. Jeremy Sim, who I believe is in the live chat right now, and also shout out to Jeremy for hooking me up with a replacement for the tracker I just destroyed. Um, says epoxy, which we covered, G10 sheets, which is a really good one. I looked earlier on Amazon. There's a bunch of different sizes that are still available with Prime to be delivered in like 3 or 4 days, generally at most. So it's not too late if you're watching this right now. You don't know what to get your Rocket friends. G10's awesome. And Kevlar cord, which again 6 days ago probably would have been a lot more feasible to get it here in time, but I don't really know. There's some like eBay listings and stuff, people are using like the cattle tape Kevlar stuff for shock cord for cheaper rockets and everything. So if you've got a source, let her rip. um Gift certificate to Chris's Wildman or buyrocketmotors.com. Yep. We covered Wildman specifically, but yeah, any of the Rocketry vendors, and buyrocketmotors.com is a cool one actually, because if you spend over $400, which is really, really easy to do if you're buying high power motors, you get free hazmat shipping. So, and their prices are pretty good to begin with. They're already discounted. So, I've never ordered anything from them, but it seems like Nigel is interested at the very least.
Yeah, I think
Dude, he's having a
into
good time.
it.
Is he looking at a bug or something?
No, he's just feeling it.
Is his
Alright.
motor running?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I guess there's context for people just listening. Again, Nigel is the anti-gravity group cat. He's sitting in Taylor's lap, just vibing.
Yeah, that is the first time he's really sat in on the podcast though. Usually he just meows a bunch.
Right. Yeah, he likes to be heard and not so much seen. But today he's just vibing
Today he
with
is
it.
seen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all vibes. Michael Grayless, follow up on the gift certificates, suggested a belt or orbital sander, and I cannot back that concept up enough. I don't have a PO box anymore. Actually, somebody sent something. They close them for inactivity, by the way. Even if you've paid for them, if you don't come get
Oh,
all your stuff, they will just close it and send you a refund. So that was
cool.
what happened. Um, but yeah, if there was anything I was going to ask for Christmas right now, it would be one of those like angleable, like 6-inch wide belt sanders that sits on the top that has the like 6 or 8 inch
Oh,
wheel on the side
yeah.
with the adjustable flat planes. Be perfect for beveling fins. So
Mm.
amazing. Great recommendation. So is an orbital sander. They have some at Harbor Freight for like $20. The hook and loop ones,
Actually,
because you can't say Velcro.
just a regular belt sander is good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I finally bought a new belt for mine, and like kind of I'd become so jaded to how dull and run through the
Yeah.
sandpaper that was on it
And
before. I
a
just
fresh
demolished stuff.
fresh 60 grit will just eat through some stuff. You got to be careful.
Yep. Yeah, I was beveling. Oh, I was beveling the tube for my JB Weld rocket because it was for a thin wall tube. The nose cone was, and then I was
Oh, yeah.
beveling the back end to kind of meet the motor tube, so I could do a little JB Weld fillet there. This is, and I was like, oh my god, that is, and it was super sharp, and I was like,
Hungry.
yeah, perfect. And then UPS Rocket Man coming in clutch, holding up the back is, he says, rolls of masking tape. Awesome. Yeah. Killer suggestion. I'll add an addendum to that. Um, oh, he says electrical tape as well. That's what I was going to say. And also aluminum tape.
Yeah.
Zip ties,
Mhm.
cans of paint. I like this one. Fresh X-Acto blades. Some number 11s.
Oh yeah.
Never have too many of those. And we talked about epoxy a lot, but he made God's suggestion and said bottles of CA.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The best adhesive there ever was. I was reading through Tony Pipe's level 3 build thread again with his minimum diameter 03400 project. And he used CA to tack the fins on. And
What's it
I
tack
was
on?
so
Yeah, it's
excited
crazy.
about that. Rocket went Mach 4 and then came in ballistic, and all the fins were still attached. He used high sol for fillets and then did rock epoxy fillets over the high sol. But yeah, CA tacked, proven to Mach 4, baby. It did what the nose cone on it couldn't. or coupler. I don't remember what failed, but yeah. So don't ever come at me with the doubt for CA again. All right. I'll do an L1000 like I did the K455 and CA tack those fins right to the motor case.
I want to see all CA. Do it.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
I
what
know.
was-
Fillets.
I want to do a 2.6-inch rocket built only with CA, and then I'll do CA fillets, hit it with the Insta set, throw a little more on top, Insta set, build up layers. You know?
Well,
Just
you got the
make
big
the
bottle,
airframe
don't
with
you?
CA.
Don't you have the
What'd
giant
you say?
bottle?
Yeah, I gotta use it.
Be building rockets like me when I was 11. I got the giant squeeze bottle with the Insta set.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I actually have a project here soon with a friend that is going to necessitate some 2.6-inch stuff, and I really would like a 2.6-inch rocket with a 54 mount. And as dumb as it would be to use that desire to have that rocket size to execute the CA build, I think it's dumb enough to be a fun idea. So we'll revisit that sometime. And we'll probably have to do a DMS motor. Not that I don't believe in the CA, but just in case. It's just going to be so light and go so high, that I might never
Yeah.
see it again.
Braden's
All
new
right.
thing is just disposable rockets.
Yeah, it's
that's not the spirit. That's not the spirit.
you're
I
right.
thought-
Matt's
I
putting
thought-
his foot down. He says,
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
not.
No, I thought of one other thing. This is sort of random, but I think like a 1-inch dowel rod that you could use for removing motors that are
The
stuck.
big stick.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
big stick.
Mhm.
And for aligning your N1000s, of
Okay.
course, since we all have
Yeah.
so many of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is a good
Yeah.
one though. Or some another one that would just be weird without context as a gift, but I would love some foaming Zep citrus cleaner. Oh,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
specifically the big brushes from Chris, the case cleaning
Mhm.
brushes. Because I have the 98mm one, and I just chop the handle off and chuck it up in a drill. And I use it for 38 through 98 cases, and it's awesome. You just get some
I
soapy
still need to get
water,
one.
spray a little Zep in there, just that a couple times, and that case is spotless, dude.
Yeah, if Matt
Um,
had one, he might actually clean his motor cases.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, I need to clean my 2940-120. Speaking of which, Matt, do you still have one of my 2940-120s?
He does.
29, 40, 120.
It sounds like
Probably.
Taylor's good. Yeah, okay. He's gonna
Yeah,
verify that.
Actually,
Actually,
does.
ask
He
Taylor.
does.
He knows.
Yeah,
I
he
have
does.
on
He
behalf
used it
of
the last
Taylor
launch he went to. Huh?
a
Oh,
recommendation for your rocket friends, Matt. A 3840 case. I think someone might really
Oh,
appreciate
yeah.
having a 75 3840 case.
I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't know why they need it.
He doesn't know anything
Yeah,
about it. I'll
I
get
don't
Matt
know
some
nothing
9 volt
about nobody.
batteries, and then
Yeah.
he can find a 3840 case somewhere.
You know, I think I'll find just like a regular Aerotech one, and I'll paint it blue for you.
Ooh.
Well, I lost the red one, but I'll take
Oh,
a
You
blue
was
can't
one.
it
tell me.
red?
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd like a blue replacement if that's
I would
on the
rather have a
table.
blue one, yeah, to
Yeah.
match my
All
other
right.
blue one.
That's true. And the blue things that will be coming soon, I'm not going to go into further detail on that, but we can tell you guys
Well-
after the stream. But Taylor and I made some choices. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and make the call, sound the sirens. Where's the media board? I want to try and test this real quick.
Woo, woo,
Wee-oo.
I don't know if it's doing anything. It seems to not be working. It's supposed to be cheering and clapping. Wow. Paid $230 for this software. Anyway, it's time, chat. It's time. There's 24 people currently watching. If you are in the chat right now, drop a late last minute rocketry related gift for the rocketry people in your lives. Or if people are asking you what you want for Christmas right now, what rocketry related item would you
Oh.
ask them to get? I think it's a fun exercise to kind of consider not rocketry people having to buy them. So let's try and mix that in as well.
Before anything, I love Jeremy Sims'
Yeah,
suggestion.
I was just going to say he knows what
a
it
box
is.
of Diet DDPs.
And
There it
That's
is,
incredible.
baby.
and to
Right
add to
there.
that, mustache gel for Matt. I appreciate
Mhm.
that. Thank you,
Okay.
Darren. Okay.
Let's not encourage him.
Yeah, no. I'll just epoxy it or CA it so that way I don't have to do it again.
Fiberglass mat and cloth, 3M fiberglass cloth as well comes up from the Rocket Child and Joe Stevenson. Yeah, you can actually buy that at like Home Depot. It's Bondo
Or
branded
any
now, I
hardware
think,
store, really.
but it's like
You can
6
get
ounce
it.
cloth, and it is actually quite good.
Yeah, you can get
Um,
Ace in anywhere like that too. Usually.
Black powder, that's a tough one. I don't know if you told them you were buying that as a gift for somebody, if they would let you buy it. So we're seeing
Probably
a
not.
couple suggestions for apogee or egg timer kits. That is a good gift for Matt. Actually, I think didn't you
That
buy
was a
him those
gift
as a
for
gift?
Matt. Yeah, that was for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And what did you get for it, Matt? An ejection charge in the face.
No, that's what he
probably
got
not
you.
Oh yeah,
good.
true. David King says paper towels. That is a good one, actually. I mean,
Yeah.
if
that is
somebody
a good
bought me
one.
like bulk of the blue shop towels, I'd be so happy.
Oh yeah, the Scott
Yeah.
And
towels.
I'll add to that too, tub of towels. I love those things lately.
Yeah. To add to that, I think baby wipes, right? The
Yeah.
unscented kind.
So tub of towels has replaced my love for baby wipes. That is my solution
all
now,
right.
even though they are way more expensive. Popsicle sticks, we touched on that. Sandable primer, we touched on that. A cutting board, interesting. Yeah, a cutting board would be awesome, or a cutting mat. Like I have a what? How big is that, Shane? 2 foot by 3 foot, like
Yeah, I think so.
self-healing cutting mat. You can get those at Amazon. I mean Walmart, but probably also Amazon. Acetone. Back to back on the acetone suggestion. The Rocket Child and Kevin Wilshire? Yes, I'm reading that correctly.
Or if you're in a state that allows it, denatured alcohol.
Yeah,
The fuel.
we
Fuel.
can't have that here.
Nope.
Fuel for you.
Jeff, I
For the
like your
people that don't
suggestion from
know,
earlier.
Denatured
go ahead.
alcohol is now just it says fuel on it.
Does
the
yours
can.
still say denatured alcohol anywhere, or does it just say fuel?
It says it under it in small print, I think.
Yeah, that's how the ones we saw in other places are. Jeff coming in clutch with probably the best recommendation I've seen all night: a gift of Patreon support to Rocket Vlogs. Now that is an interesting one.
Oh,
Oh.
I think I like that recommendation. Tell your friends and family about that one for sure. The sanding drums are a must. Yeah, if we can revisit that for a second. If you weren't here for that part of the conversation, Harbor Freight sells a set of sanding drums that are like 3/4 inch through 3 inch or 2.5 or something like that.
In fact, it's so good. Maybe if you don't have anyone to gift them to, you could gift them to yourself because everyone needs the Harbor Freight sanding drums. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Braden's frozen.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh, is he
Oh.
back?
It's all right. We're back. That's what we're paying for that good quality internet for. I didn't hear any of that, but yeah, good points, everybody. Screws, washers, eye bolts, shrink tube. Yeah, actually, like I assume you don't mean the big stuff that goes around a fiberglass tube, but just like the standard stuff for wiring. Great recommendation. They sell at Harbor Freight. They have like a assortment of it that runs. They have tiny stuff, which is actually amazing for like single strands of E-match wiring. And if you know me, you know I use E-match wiring for every electronics bay wiring setup. So when I'm splitting a power wire for an RRC2 Plus, great offering. And you know I'm twisting that and not soldering it.
Yeah, fun fact on my original 3-inch minimum diameter rocket that went like Mach 2, I ran 2 RC2s in it, and I had tiny wire nuts to do the switch inside to split the wires.
Wow.
Wait, really?
And yeah,
Huh.
Dang.
just twisting them up. worked.
I mean, I guess that's what they're designed for, right?
Yeah.
Did you tape
Yeah.
them at all, or did you just roll with that?
No,
That is
just
just
rolled with it.
crazy.
I wouldn't do it like that now, but it worked for however many times I flew it.
I think I have something that would be a fun recommendation. I don't know if you could get them in time at this point, but also something I'd just like to bring up because I think Matt would love it. I have some like solderable magnet switches for powering up electronics, and
Mm.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
Matt would
excited
be into
about them.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's a clean thing.
clean install. I have to say, I was excited to use them for my theoretical minimum diameter end motor. Um, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. On the whole account of losing my job thing. That's patreon.com/rocketvlogs. But at LDRS this year, Judy Lubin flew her rocket drag queen, which amazing flight and amazing ability to make all the boomers super mad in the comments. It was a lot of fun to watch.
That was great.
She just had a big magnet on a stick, and she's not real tall, and this is a 12-foot tall rocket, and she just reaches up and waved it, and the altimeter fired up, and I was like, all right, I kind of back this now.
That is
And
kind of a cool idea to have it on a big stick.
yeah,
Just
just
turn on
listen
the
for some
big
beeps.
Punisher from the ground.
Yeah. So I used the Blue Raven has it integrated in the power perch, so I had it on the Arcus, and that was pretty cool to just wave it and just go. The Raven makes fun noises.
I like how
That-
it instantly beeps at you.
yeah,
It's very satisfying.
it's a verification. It's very reaffirming.
Unlike the RC2, which always freaks me out because it has really long dead pauses.
And it goes into the sleep mode.
Yeah.
Is the live stream still live streaming? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's back now. I was watching the counter and it was frozen for a second. For Matt, a bag of burgers from Brahms. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
Yeah,
if it's
he would
thank
love
you.
3 days
Man.
old, he'll love
The
it.
deep cuts
Oh,
coming
God.
out.
Weird question, but where did you get the nose cone for the Punisher? So, anybody else have any recommendations for some fun gifts? Throw those in the comments. Bob Brown uses
got
the
it from
stick
a
plus
place.
magnet. The floppy magnet. That's what Bob calls his, I guess. Yeah, it's awesome. Filament, yeah. Again, to revisit the 3D printing stuff, definitely. Like if somebody just bought me a bunch of rolls of PETG, I would probably be pretty stoked about it. Not probably. I don't need to like hedge that one. I would be stoked about it. Yeah, I might be okay with it, I guess.
Maybe. I don't know.
Screw switches if you can find them. Yeah, I know, dude. Rest in peace, Radio Shack. You know what though? We are going through like Ogden, and Ogden still has a true like OG Radio Shack. I went in there and they
Components.
still had like batteries for like Panasonic wall phones, like cordless phones, in like 25-year-old boxes that were all faded and yellow. But I was building a Mega Squirt harness for a friend's drift car, and I was like, where are we gonna find resistors? You can't just buy those anymore. He looked on Google. He's like, there's still a Radio Shack. And I was like, no way, dude. Sure enough, it's a real Radio Shack still.
Wild.
$70 for a AAA membership. That's a good one. CAD software, says Jeremy. Yeah, how much does Fusion 360 cost?
A lot. I was looking into that the other day because I've just got the free trial right now. And I was like, I should see about buying it.
Isn't it?
I shouldn't.
Isn't it free if you're using it for personal use?
Yeah, if you report less than a certain amount of income from it, I think you can get it for free. I need to look into it more. But if you want to buy it, it's like $1,200 a year.
But it's kind
Whoa.
of.
Or
I think it's kind of
16.
made so like you're only buying it if you're really like
Using it
for
commercially.
business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commercially. For yeah, that's what it's. Hobby use is free.
Yeah. Kevin Wilshire with another big baller recommendation, trip to LDRS. True. Matt, are you coming to LDRS? The hotel's booked.
Yeah. Where is it?
New York. You said yeah though, so it's too late to pull back on that
Yeah,
one.
all right. That's fine. I've never been to the Big Apple.
Well, it's
Good old
nowhere
got
near the
recorded.
Big Apple.
He
I
says he'll
regret
be
to
there.
inform you.
Give it a shot.
No,
It's
Matt needs
pretty-
to come to Alamosa with us.
Yeah, you do need to do that. Imagine flying the 12-inch Punisher there. All right, guys, if we can get $2,000 in the chat right now, we'll fly the
Yeah.
12-inch Punisher.
We'll
to
take the
Alamosa.
Punisher wherever you tell us to.
Whatever you tell us to.
If they
Dude, it
give
would
us
be-
$2,000 right now.
It'd be kind of fun to take it to far because then we could stand 200 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Dude, we saw someone flew an N2000 booster in a 2-stage, and they hit crazy hard from that close.
It was so
insane.
good.
Gift membership to the Rocketry forum. Yeah, that's a pretty simple, easy one. And then you get the cool badge that makes you look better than everybody. Not just look, it makes you better than everybody. How does Matt have a rocket in the background but Postart and Braden don't? That's a good question, actually. There's an RC playing. That's close enough. Look, I brought the rocket out
right up
last
there.
time, and then it was just like it was too much just to have this.
Braden has a
rocket.
picture of a rocket.
That's
Can
true.
can you see the rocket?
The nose cone. Yeah, it's not even a rocket. It's just a nose cone taped to the wall.
The OG, the mag.
The heaviest nose cone ever.
Yep.
You
What
need a
is this,
new
carbon
one.
fiber? No, it's not carbon fiber, but the carbon filament.
Yeah, carbon filament.
Very thick wall too. It's a tank.
The perfect
Anyway.
thing to do is show and tell for a podcast. The audio listeners
Yeah, it's
completely
fine.
in the dark on that one.
Nobody's seen this rocket before. I have to.
Well, well then make a channel.
I'm just never. Oh, good idea. There aren't enough.
Post a rocket video before Taylor and Postart do. Then you can
The
really
Matt
flex
Show.
on them. Yeah.
The rocket.
Dude, he'll go
vlog
viral.
Channel.
Yeah, just call it the Matt
Yeah.
Show. It'd be so easy.
It's
Welcome to
probably
the
not
Matt Show. As you know, 13's about 13.
really- Oh God.
Just fire it up just like that. All right, I'm going to put out one last call for everybody to give us a recommendation for rocketry related gifts. But also, while we're here, since we don't have a mailbag for this particular podcast episode because it's live, now is your chance, if you're not on Patreon, to be part of the mailbag segment. So any questions or comments you've got for any of us, drop them in the chat right now. And we will do our best to give you the A's to those Q's that you would like. Matt, one last recommendation. Rocket present. 5 seconds. Answer.
Fuses. Wait, what?
No.
Fuse? I kind of blew a fuse coming
All
over that.
right.
I meant E-match. I meant an E-match. I don't know why I was thinking fuse.
I feel
He
like
was under too much pressure. He was under too much
Yeah.
pressure.
Didn't you call it a fuse one time at Argonia? I think that happened.
Oh,
Yeah, when
What
he
did I-
took two, he was a little rusty, and he just his brain
wait.
was
Well, 'cause they're
misfiring.
called igniter, right? Igniters.
Yeah.
From Estes. I called it a fuse. Okay, that
Yeah.
I have the habit of saying.
Well, you were
shoot-
searching for it. You just could. You were having a moment, a Matt moment,
That's
where you
probably the
couldn't
same
think of
moment I've
anything,
had.
and you're like,
Yeah.
That
"Where's
moment.
a fuse?" And you meant to say igniter. I'm like, it's an
Well, it's
igniter.
kind of a
What's,
fuse. I mean, technically, it's a fuse.
that thing that turns the motor on. What is that? What is that called?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've got one. Some
Okay.
nice thick, what are they? 7 mil thick gloves from Harbor Freight.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually, somebody
yeah.
said that in the chat earlier. When
Yeah.
the internet died, I was reading through the chat to see what else we got, and somebody said nitrile gloves. So I'm actually gonna go back through this and see if we've got anything that people have thrown out that we didn't. My daughters once gave me cash earmarked to build a custom lightsaber. I thought it was great. The same could be done for rockets. Yeah, honestly, just handing them money, just throw it in an envelope that says Rocket Fund. That's all I want. That's perfect.
Yeah.
You can draw a rocket on the envelope.
Bondo putty. Okay, can I make an addendum to that? Evercoat glazing putty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Circle
Um,
cutter, and then EP Flyer 2000 says +1 on the circle cutter. Yeah, especially if they have a plunge router, the Jasper circle cutting jig, life changing.
Oh,
Is
I
that
was
what you have,
thinking a
Taylor?
fly cutter. I'm like, that's a death sentence with a router.
Yeah,
Don't
Oh
buy
my
a fly
God.
cutter for anyone that doesn't have a drill press.
yeah, dude. I don't know that I would buy one for somebody that does have a drill press.
True.
Even
yeah,
when
because-
used correctly, those things are nightmare
Yeah.
fuel, dude.
But if you want to buy someone a drill press and not a fly cutter, that would be a good gift.
Yeah, definitely.
What-
Yeah, Matt,
what-
that is the circle cutting jig is the one that Taylor has, the
Okay.
plastic one.
I'm out
You'll-
of the loop. What do you do with the fly cutter? Is it like
It's like
I
a
don't know,
spinning
routing
death
bit?
blade contraption.
So
that-
imagine, imagine something. It's adjustable on like a
Mhm.
rod to you can
Yeah.
set the radius, and so you have this really sharp like cutting knife
Bit.
thing, and then
Yeah.
a counterweight on the other side, and you put it in a drill press. But
Yeah.
they're like really dangerous.
Oh, do they grab pretty easy?
Yeah, and also I think they can become like unbalanced
Oh,
and
God.
like cause havoc, to put it lightly.
But
Big
nice.
Yeah,
Lots of
gashes
people
on
have
their
hurt themselves
fingers.
with those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Jeff says the Neptune 3 Pro is a $190 3D printer and it has auto leveling built in. Shane, do you remember the 3D printer that we saw at Hobbytown? That they just put out a new version. It prints super fast and super big.
Hmm.
It has built-in auto leveling and it was like $300.
I don't.
These are things I need to write down. Epoxy cups, that is another good one. Just like a huge
Oh,
bulk thing
yeah.
of Dixie cups and like solo cups. Awesome. Don't put acetone in a solo cup, by the way. It just melts. Kevin Wilshire says you can see a fiberglass cloth to make a rocket tube. Now we are talking. All right.
Corey wants to know where the name Postart comes from. He doesn't know that story.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Run the lore back because I feel like there's probably a lot
Yeah.
of people that don't have that insight.
What wasn't it in the
This-
Bible?
Yeah, Postart 16.2.
Yeah. This goes back to NXRS in, what was that, 2020?
I want to say 21.
But didn't I
Was
start
it?
calling you Postart
Yeah.
on the MDRA
but
trip?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll
but-
get there.
Yeah,
Oh.
don't worry.
Okay.
Braden and I left to go to NXRS, which is in Oregon, at what, like 4 in the morning or
Yeah,
3 in the
because-
morning?
For some reason, when I looked at Google Maps the night before, I think there must have been like an accident or something because it said it was
Yeah.
like 8 hours. I was like, I swear it's not that far, but okay. So we left at like 3 a.m. and like we got up and had everything packed and ready to go. I typed it in, it said like 4.5 hours. I was like, I knew it. So we just left anyway. And we're like, cool, I guess we'll be there when the range opens at 8.
But we decided to hit Winco to get some snacks on the way, and so I got a box of Pop-Tarts. And then after that, kind of just every rocket launch that I've gone to, I always have a box of Pop-Tarts, or as we call them, Pos-Tarts. And then at MDRA in, was that 2022? That was last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor
April.
started calling me Pos-Tart because I always had some.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that it wasn't like a joke that he always had him, because I don't think we had been like to a multi-day launch where we like stayed together before that.
Yeah.
And so you just really had this giant box of Pop-Tarts all the time. And so I was like, hey, Pop-Tart.
And now you
give me
know
one of those.
that
and
he'll
it's
just
stuck.
pound a whole box of them for dinner. Or Uncrustables, and he calls those gushers for what it's worth. If you want to be fully up
Dude,
to
they're
date
just-
on the lore.
Yeah, they're upscaled gushers, but with bread and peanut butter and jelly.
The
Can't
most
forget
reckless thing, huh?
the gallon of green beans.
Oh yeah, the huge green bean
That
can.
was nice. That
I
was
love
good.
how that was so much of an enigma that Taylor's dad is just like obsessed with it. He was like,
He
"What
was,
is this?
yeah.
This
Well, the
doesn't make
funniest part is
sense."
that you put the open can of green beans back in my pantry.
Yeah, not in the fridge. He wrapped it in
Just-
plastic and put it in the pantry.
He didn't want them cold. So I just opened up
No.
the pantry and there's a gallon-sized can of green beans that's been opened and just smells like green beans in there. Also, the other most reckless thing ever was when Braden and Postart were at my house. We were doing probably for Airfest, and Postart just puts down a whole box of Gushers.
Yeah.
And by Gushers, I mean Uncrustables. An
Yeah.
entire box.
It was
You know how
like
much sugar that is?
yeah,
It was like literally a
200
pound of
grams.
sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the
It
dude
was
just no
insane.
problem.
Yeah.
No crash or anything.
Still charging.
Nope.
The Rocket Child asks again, where did you get the nose cone for the Punisher? And David King says cinnamon brown sugar. Yes.
Mm.
Brown sugar cinnamon is or brown sugar cinnamon as we call it.
Oh, yeah.
Is the best flavor of Pop Tart. We got the nose cone from a fiberglass manufacturer that I would never ever recommend anybody orders anything from. We've had to learn this lesson multiple times over for 10 years. If you look it up right now on the Rocketry forum or Facebook, you'll probably see a lot of people telling stories similar and saying not to order stuff from them. I highly recommend you listen. We tried telling a lot of people up front, but everybody was getting their stuff early because that's just how this particular manufacturer operates. He makes a whole bunch so that he has enough to ship out when he runs a sale, and then he takes your money and doesn't send you anything. And somehow, for well over a decade, has been getting away with it. So yeah, don't order anything from Composite Warehouse. There you go. Is that what you wanted? You wanted to hear it? We only got the nose cone because Taylor complained about it publicly on the Rocketry forum.
And we knew about it going into it, and I had spent my, the last 15 years knowing what the deal was and not giving him my money. And then just so happens that's the only person that has a off the shelf 5-to-1 11.5-inch nose cone, and we needed it. So rolled the dice, and somehow we made it. And so we can
Well, we
never lose that nose cone now.
We should acknowledge too that he had it set up and everybody's like, yeah, he doesn't even take your money till it's ready to ship. But like, this is the oldest trick in the book is to buy a shipping label and send you a label and then never ship you anything. If you've ever been on eBay, you know that that's a classic. So when we got the payment notification saying the nose cone was ready to ship 2 days later, we're like, wow, that seems awfully suspicious. So Taylor paid for it, $400 nose cone. And then yeah, we didn't hear nothing for months. It was 4 months till we got it, right? And it was only because the Rocketry forum when people started realizing they were never going to see the stuff that they paid for. I when I was 17 ordered all the stuff for my level 3 rocket, my 7.5-inch Iris, and didn't get it for months. Only got it because I called and bothered him every single day. Then when Composite Warehouse was getting positive reviews, I was like, you know what? Maybe he's finally got it together. No, I bought a V2, didn't get it for 4 months. I bought some stuff to convert my Arcus to 98mm and only got it because I reported that I didn't get anything on PayPal. Then he called me real quick and was like, did you not want it anymore? You're just tired of waiting. Yeah, that's a tough question to figure out the answer for, huh? So yeah, in summary, if you want some fiberglass components, check out wildmanrocketry.com. Pay the extra money. It's worth it. You know why? Because you'll get the things you pay for.
And if you want
There you
11.5-inch nose cone, buy some foam and make it.
Yeah,
Can't you just
yeah.
make it, right?
I'm gonna say,
That's
or
like we've-
you're really gonna have to butter up Mike and Dave and Jay from PML to whip you out one of those. But if you're still doing Q&A, what is Taylor's name on TRF? At TJ Snakes with a Z.
That's right. TJ Snakes with a Z.
But yes, we are still doing Q&A. So launch those questions at us after the flame rant on Curtis Turner at Composite Warehouse. Any other questions? Anybody else order anything and not get it? I know somebody that ordered stuff like 15 years ago that didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I know people that are still getting stuff because they call them all the time. So that's a fun tip for you. Just bother him a lot.
Oh, really? He finally got a call back?
Yeah. Well, we can go into that further off air, but yeah. Oh, okay. So Path Touch says a micrometer / calipers. I grab my Harbor Freight one about 100 times a day when I'm in my shop and measure all sorts of stuff. That is a really good run. They have the caliper set
Matt.
for.
Huh?
Were
There
you
you
also
go.
just thinking about randomly measuring stuff in a shop, Matt? Is that why you were laughing?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's got him right
Yeah.
there.
Me
Why?
too.
You just got to do this a bunch of times. How much is 13 again? I don't know.
For the viewers, Postar, show them the like sync measurement function.
Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
like that.
Mine doesn't do that.
Super nice.
Well,
That is
Postar has
nice.
the best tools, you know.
Oh no, we've turned the chat into a composite warehouse roundabout.
Oh
Yeah,
no! What did we do?
Jeremy said he orders Rocket and got it in 2 months in Australia. Yeah, it's because he had it in stock. Did you buy it on sale or shortly after he had them on sale? It happens the same way
Mhm.
every time. He starts shipping stuff and then he gets in over his head and takes too many orders and then takes everybody's money and doesn't ship them anything and then sells the company and then opens another company and makes the exact same kits with different names and then stops shipping the stuff to the vendor that he sold the company to under the agreement that you would keep making the kits. If you ever ask yourself if your boss recently purchased a Mad Cow kit with fiberglass, why it's red, the same red as Wildman stuff, you might not have to dig very deep for an answer. All you have to do is Google who bought Rocketry Warehouse. If Matt's name isn't Macho Matt on TRF, then the world is upside down. What is your name on? Oh, it's Rocket Matt or Matt?
Matt the Motor Man.
Oh,
Is it Matt the Motorman?
He doesn't even know.
Or no, Matt the Rocket Man.
I think
yeah, it's something
Matt
like that.
Probably Matt the Rocket Man.
You remember when he was like trying to be stealthy and researching a bunch of stuff on the Rocketry forum, and then you found his account. And you're like, this has to be him.
Yeah. Well, because he used just a different form of his other forum alias, like when he was on
Yeah.
roller coaster forums. So
Matt the Coaster Man. Worlds
What
of
is-
Matt. Is that what it was?
Worlds of Matt the Rocket Man. That's what it is.
yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah. That's it.
back when he was really, really trying, before the big rocket loss, he's still grieving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, get over
like-
it.
Yeah,
know
fly
what'll
rockets
really-
again.
Done. I'm over it.
Man.
Just kidding.
What will really bring you closure is buying closures and a 3840 case.
Good one, Braden.
Well, you should. Did you order another L850 during the sale? That's what you should have done.
Nobody
It's
has
time
a
to get back on the
K560.
L850 horse. Oh yeah, okay, that's a good intermittent like stepping stone there.
But guess who's not going to let you borrow a case?
I'll start.
Until you
I don't think
no
Postar
more
has
case
that
borrowing
case.
until you
Yeah.
replace the one you lost.
Wait, what
All
case?
75, 25, 60.
Mm-mm.
I got 2. Taylor's got 2.
You know, the funny part is I told Matt that if he replaces the case, he can keep it. Like, that's a really good deal.
Oh.
Yeah, you just wanted the closures, right?
I just wanted the closures.
Everybody comment peer pressure Matt. Replace the case.
Alright.
Replace the
Replace
case.
the case.
Woo!
Replace the
Looking at it right
Dude.
now on Apogee, it's
Not
too-
Apogee. No, don't look
Yes.
there.
I know.
That-
I just-
that- we're still alive, Taylor. Just said.
Oh,
Taylor likes to
Look
burn
wherever you
bridges
want.
in podcast
yeah.
episodes.
Sorry. Sorry, I forgot we were on air.
I just jeweled it. That's also my bad.
Wildmanrocketry.com offers fantastic prices. I should stop giving out those free plugs, dude. I need some 2.6 inch fiberglass stuff if you're watching, Tim. Maybe a Mach 3.
Matt, we could drive down to Argonia and go look for that hole in the ground. Try to find your
Oh.
rocket.
That sounds efficient. Yeah. Get a metal detector.
Yeah, to find all that aluminum.
Dude, you know what? I think it'd be
Magnet while you're at it.
interesting. I think it'd be interesting somehow to incorporate drones into rocket recovery, but maybe that would just make it less fun. You think?
No, finding my rockets faster sounds awesome. Actually,
Okay.
um,
You
somebody
know.
somebody did that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
They were oh, I'm not allowed to say who, but I
No.
did see somebody find a rocket with a drone.
Hmm.
Use your imagination on that one. But yeah. All right. Well, I think we've pretty much tapped out all of the
Oh.
ideas that we could touch on for the what'd you say?
I don't know. I saw in the chat, Jeremy Sim says, I want to plan a trip to the U.S. to attend a rocket launch. What would be the best one to attend?
Airfest.
Yeah, come to
Airfest.
Airfest. Especially if you're
Mm,
gonna try. That could be a fun little thing we can reveal here at the end of this podcast, because if the people
Yeah.
stuck it out through this, the live iteration of the podcast, post edit is still going to be a little chaotic. So if you're still here, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yeah, we are flying the 9-inch Arcus again, which we didn't really have any plans to do,
No.
except for I recently got an Animal Motorworks N2800 skid mark, an old demo motor, and we're gonna fly it on that. Just a single motor. By the way, Postart really wants to do a 9-motor flight again, and I told him that's pretty much gonna be all on him. If And then he's
No.
like, I'm not as attached to the Punisher. I was like, why? That's stupid. And I was like, oh yeah, you didn't build it. I
yeah.
forgot you weren't there for that. Oh boy. But yeah, N2800, and then if we can get the funding together in
When we get the
2000.
funding together.
Yeah, you're right. When we Matt, we're gonna do a telethon. So we gotta do a
Hosted by
live.
you.
Yeah, portion
right.
of the telethon's gonna be you building a rocket live.
All right.
You have to build the whole thing in 24 hours.
All right. Can I build
And
my can I build my Banshee?
yeah,
Whatever you want.
build whatever you want, but it's part of the telethon.
Don't you get the
where-
joke? It's almost ready to fly.
the as this one
You
is
just-
like just snap the fins on.
I'll
He
just
just
take the
keeps,
cellophane.
done.
putting the fin on and accidentally breaking it off.
All right, you can do that, but you have to also on the live stream fly an entire like educator bulk pack worth of Estes motors with that
Oh, yeah.
rocket.
Oh,
We could do
This is
that.
Like 80 flights
It's only 24.
just in Taylor's backyard. Oh yeah, it's like $80. That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
yeah.
But anyway, we were talking about doing a telethon to do some super chat fundraising for the Punisher
right.
flight.
If you donate right now, Matt can get this fin to stick for the 3rd time.
Help.
Dude, we'll fly the dude again. Or did you throw it away?
It's
I'll have
probably
to
still in
I think I might have thrown it away. It was in there a long
Oh.
time.
Yeah. It's
I also haven't
I tried
cleaned
to
up
give
in
it
a while,
away.
so
I didn't want to
might
see
be
it
there.
get thrown in the trash, but I also didn't want to see it anymore. Period. So I
Yeah.
tried to give
Same.
it to people. If Taylor happens to find it in his garage and you want an Estes dude and you can pick it up in Argonia, let us know. It's all yours. RMS 9815-360. Does anybody know how long it is with the closures and retainer? Not off the top of my head. I want to say it's like 43 inches, but if you go to the Aerotech resources section of the RCS website, or yeah, Taylor can just measure his.
Wow.
it's about 13, about 13. No.
Yeah.
Isn't it like I honestly don't know.
I think it's like
Oh.
42 or 43 inches, but yeah. Dr. Rocket rear closure, it's a little tapered unlike the normal closure. Will this affect any reloads? I mean, they should be the same, but tapered closures don't really change anything. I didn't find it on RCS, that's why I was curious. It should be there. External
Yeah, it's
hardware
under
dimensions.
RMS external dimensions. I can look it up.
It is a little difficult to find. I feel like for a minute there was like a point where it took you to the Wayback Machine
It did,
to
yeah.
find it.
They fixed it.
I was like, this is chaos. I wonder if
Oh,
they
that's
just had a
Wayback
server
Machine.
crash or something
It
like
is
that.
41.7 inches to the very tip of the forward closure.
Path Touch says, "Did I miss the live stream? Did I miss if the live stream has a regular schedule? Always Tuesday night." So, I mean, yeah, if we're gonna do a live stream, it's typically going to be Tuesday night because that's the nights we record the podcast. So usually, if we're gonna go live, we do it after we record the podcast. Um, especially if we have Matt with us.
Which we love.
Yes, love you guys too.
He's like, yeah, totally. I love it here.
He got his fingers crossed behind his back.
Got
It's
him.
like, yeah, I love Rockets. Am I right? Only
You gotta
gets
take it
excited when he reminds him that he gets to have Brahms after the launch if he's good.
He's excited about Rockets again because of the space shot.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm really about it. I need to
Dude,
focus
that's-
on the Punisher though. I need to get that.
That's his reward
dude,
for
the-
building the Punisher is building
Yeah.
the space shot.
The Punisher, the space shot, and I feel like we should clarify that doesn't mean Matt's building a rocket to go to space. Because I feel like people are gonna be like, I don't think he's the right guy.
That's the
What are you
best
talking
joke,
about?
though.
That's natural. It's natural.
And then as your reward for finishing the space shot, you can build the Brahms rocket.
Yeah.
I think we should all, me, Taylor, and Postart should make an agreement that if Matt actually builds the Brahms ice cream cone rocket, we should get him the French fry parachute. We'll all split it.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I'm down.
I feel like that's a good
Because we all secretly want to buy
Motor.
it anyway.
yeah. And then if we can all three spend our money at once instead.
Yeah.
And if Matt builds a Brahms rocket and finishes it, maybe one of us will build the Duncan rocket so we can also buy the Duncan parachute.
Dude,
You'd have to.
yeah. And
Yeah.
if I am doing another Christmas project next year, you know I'm getting the tree one. You absolutely know it.
Yep.
Bryce sent me somebody built like giant nutcrackers from like 12-inch sonotube. And he's like, I have this as a request for next year. And I was like, oh my God. That's sick. Where do you get these shoots? Asked Jeremy. They're just on eBay. I don't remember the guy's
Are
name.
they
He
on
posts
eBay?
them on Facebook sometimes as well. Yeah.
Oh,
They're like
I see
$100.
I see his posts on Facebook on the Rocketry buy sell page.
Yeah, I think on his eBay page he makes like regular parachutes as well. Josh Drummond, Happy Shoots. Thank you, Path Touch. That's the guy. The Duncan shoot, I love it so much. I feel like he's playing with
Yeah.
fire a little bit on the copyright stuff by putting the logo ish on there, but he's got a YouTube channel, Newtons per second. Oh, okay. We'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Christmas tree parachute for a giant, like 8-inch diameter nutcracker rocket would be awesome. If I'm doing base drag again and it's gonna be that big, it's gonna have to be an M1939. Which reminds me, I've got some job applications I need to send.
Speaking of M1939s, we got to pay for one.
Yeah. But yeah, so we gotta figure out the telethon concept. But I think Matt, if you'll join us for the podcast again, I don't know if we're going to actually record one next week while we're out of town because it'll be the day after Christmas. The next
Yeah, I'm gonna be
podcast
gone-
we
I'm
record,
going to be gone too. So
I think we should do what we did in our video for the fireworks last year, our rocket resolutions for 2024. I don't even remember what my 2023 ones were, but I'm going to go ahead and say I got them. I think I knocked it out of the park, honestly.
I thought it was. to
Taylor's
build
like,
a
yeah, you
minimum
said you were going to build
diameter.
an N. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our balls 2-stage project.
I think
Yeah.
mine was my level 3, so
Oh, yeah.
Matt was probably
Blew
to
it
build his
on that one.
Punisher.
yeah.
Yeah, and my Dark Star. I'm just kidding. I'll keep that in
No.
the bag.
Yeah.
You
that's
have a
just meant
Dark
to
Star?
be.
Oh, the 3-inch one.
No,
yeah.
it's the OG 2-inch.
Oh, that's
3-inch, yeah.
right.
It's just
Yeah.
there for fun. It will never be built.
When I get bored.
Joe Stephenson has a good point. I did get my 50,000 subscribers. Thanks, YouTube Shorts. Still waiting on 50K feet. Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. I got to figure out how to get rockets back from 20 first.
I'm I'm gonna
Are you
try to
just
see
using regular glove tip charges on those flights, Taylor? You are, aren't you?
No,
Oh, what did you do?
I surgical tubing.
Oh, see, that's kind of
Hmm.
where I want to go, but also, Steve made some recommendations for how they were doing theirs, like really high altitude stuff. Basically, recommends black powder with E-match on top, like we're doing in charge wells, like the big rockets. But he's like, just seal it with silicone. Put like paper towel or whatever in there. Seal it with silicone. It's basically just a plug.
It's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Thought on centrifuge vials for BP charges. You know what? The one and only flight to 20,000 feet that I actually put a parachute out, that was what I used. That was the 54 in Argonia
Um,
had a centrifuge tube. I think it was also a really big charge, which I think also would have saved me on the K455.
I think I'm gonna do the vinyl tubing for my next flight with the
Yeah, I
hot
have a
glue
ton of it, so I've been thinking about just giving it a shot on some smaller stuff.
because it's basically
Maybe,
just kind of a more efficient version of the surgical tubing, which
yeah. Wait, did you say hot glue?
hmm so you use vinyl tube and then plug the ends with hot glue and pack it in there with dog barf.
Yeah. So that's what Tony Alcacer was talking to me about that at
Yeah.
Balls, because I was showing he does that, and then he drills a hole behind it, like where he has the plug at, and runs. He just has a like a lag bolt that sticks off his electronics bay with a hole drilled through it. So he just puts the charge up to it and then runs like a cotter pin through it, and it just dangles from the electronics bay bulk plate.
Oh, to keep it standing up,
Yep.
or yeah.
But yeah, so I've been thinking about kind of playing with some different ejection charge concepts and everything like that, and ground testing some rockets that I have, and do some flight testing and try to come up with something a little more. I feel like if I had death wrapped these glove tips like I usually would, I think it would have been okay, but they were real loose. So I think most of the powder probably didn't get burnt. Um, in my head, for some reason, 20,000 is like not that high, which is really stupid. But I'm just like, yeah, it's only 20,000 feet. It's not going to have that kind of impact on black powder burning when it's like no atmosphere there pretty much already at that
I mean,
point.
it's not as noticeable, but with the charges that small, it probably is.
Hurry
I
up
mean,
and do the
it's probably
test with
some effect.
epoxy fillers. I do want to do that still, but I want to get, before I do that, I want to get a vacuum chamber set up so that we can rule out any possibility of air bubbles weakening one versus the other. But yeah, that is something I want to do, Matt. I don't know if you were here for that concept, but Taylor and I have pretty much landed on in our heads now that chopped carbon doesn't do anything to make epoxy stronger. Well, any more so than thickening it with something like silica.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is 3D print a mold where I have a control that's just with systems, and then one with carbon fiber, one with milled glass, and one with silica, and then use a gauge, like a pull gauge, to see which one takes the most effort to snap.
Hmm.
But I
This
want to
is
vacuum the epoxy to degas it
You
all.
should try to make them
Ah.
all kind of a similar viscosity, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that only goes so far, right? I can't do it with the control one. But yeah, all the
Oh,
other
yeah.
ones, it would be an attempt to make it the best. West 406 Life. Yeah, I had actually never, until I built the 12-inch Punisher with Taylor, I had never used colloidal silica as a thickener when using West as an adhesive.
Oh,
I'd
really?
only, well, I mean, fillets are adhesives, but I had only ever used it for fillets.
I see.
I don't think I'd ever glued anything together with West Systems before.
That's
Well, I
Is
don't
the
have time to
406
wait for that. It's crazy.
is that the faster setting epoxy?
No, the 406 is the colloidal silica.
Oh,
Yeah,
bad stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
man,
Throat itch.
the West fast hardener was crazy on the 12-inch Punisher. It was just ended up being like 15-minute epoxy. It was
Yeah,
so
when it
hot.
was super hot. Yeah.
That was
Dude, I
fun.
know
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed now, like, that we're not going to have a big project that I get to go stay at your house for a week while we build.
Yeah.
I'm just going to come
It's
hang
just-
out.
You should do it at a smaller scale.
I mean, we'll
Yeah,
still have to prep 2 giant rockets for Airfest.
that's
Yeah.
true. We should probably come like 2 weeks early for
Yeah.
that, honestly.
Here's a thought. What if you guys help me put my 3-inch Punisher together at Taylor's
Oh my
place?
gosh.
All four of us
Yeah, yeah,
to
Oh my
build a
yeah.
3-inch
God.
It's the
Punisher.
same thing with the fin falling off. Oh, I can't put the fin back on.
Dude, it sucks because like I love the traveling aspect of everything, and I love going to all these rocket launches. But Shane said something that really put in perspective how like absurd this all is. Because I think I've talked about this before, but my taxes that I did this year from last year, I spent like 13 or almost 13's about 13, I think, but it was like over $13,000 producing videos for this channel. And like the vast majority of that was travel, and then I can write off motors, which is awesome, but like most of that was travel. And Shane was like, you could fly an N motor every month and it would be cheaper. I was like, huh, that sucks. Or it cost about the same at this point, but you just imagine going to a monthly launch and flying an N every single month and spending less
You
money
know,
than I have.
I
Yeah,
mean,
but
at this point though, you've got the platform though to do it. Like you've built the platform with the rockets, right? So you don't
I
have
like
to.
to think so, right?
Yeah,
All these
it's an
lovely people
investment.
are still here. We're kind of rambling about nothing at this point, but all these people
True.
are still hanging out in the chat. There might still be people listening to this as a podcast, which, if so, my God, give yourself a round of applause.
Yeah.
yeah, you must not have a whole lot going on, or just really
Yes,
love,
you
really
probably do
itching to hear
podcasts the way
something
I do.
resembling rocket talk.
Right. Yeah. They've just had this rolling and they're not paying attention, but now that we're specifically talking about it, they're like tuning in and they're like, what
Yeah.
has been going on actually? Working on my level 3 after bowling. Hey, bowling.
What?
Now we're talking.
Oh, these guys and
I
their
listen to you guys
bowling.
on my way to work in the morning. Hey, that's sick.
Nice.
I've been doing a lot of delivery driving, the freelance stuff, keep up with everything. And yeah, I've been back in on all my podcasts. And now Spotify has audiobooks, which rips. I want an audio picture book. Anyway,
An audio picture book.
1,000 words for every picture.
you live closer to a bigger field now, so maybe you don't have to travel as much. Well, yeah, I mean, I have Lucerne 40 minutes away and far. I could fly to space if I had any aspirations or funding to do so, an hour and 45 minutes away from where I live. But here's the fun in that. I like the traveling aspect of traveling. I just love a
And,
good 25-hour drive.
Can you really put a cost on staying in the hotel with the boys?
Yeah.
Can we put a price on that?
Slamming a case of
The
Diet Iggy
memories,
P and a Casey's
yeah.
Pizza? Come on.
Yeah. The
And
FB.
how many White Claws have we drank collectively?
Dozens. Oh, man. I can tell you how many Matt's had.
What?
0.
Oh, yes.
Zero,
Yeah.
yeah.
But how many NA beers has Matt had?
He's had a couple.
Hundreds.
He had a bunch of those. He had a bunch of those Reds, like turkey burritos that one year for breakfast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Right.
You're like, yeah, I'm getting healthy ones, and Taylor and I are like, yeah, we're going straight to McDonald's in the morning, my man.
He's like, I'm brought
Traveling
him,
is
so
fun,
I'm
but
gonna
so is an
eat
N
'em."
motor per month. You know
Yeah.
what though? Honestly, that sounds tedious beyond belief to fly a rocket on that big of a motor every month, and I feel like spending that much at once on a motor every month really makes me realize how much I'm spending. It's a lot cooler when I don't total it up till the end of the year and I just had a lot of fun. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, I'm going to be like, no, I mean, I'll just like travel to less launches and fly like 2 N motors a year, right? There's a good compromise here somewhere.
Yeah, you know what would happen if you flew an N motor every month? You would still have a bunch of other expenses, and then you would find out you
Right.
spent $25,000.
Right. Yeah. So I fly
Yeah.
an N motor every month and then go to Airfest anyway to fly one of them for the month of September. And boom, Bob's your uncle. I'm 50 G's deep in credit card debt. Greetings from Minnesota. Any plans to go to Midwest Power next year? I mean, not at the moment, but I didn't plan on it for this year either. And here we are. So
Yeah.
probably just assume yes. I've I really am trying to figure out right now how to make it possible to go to Mini Midwest Power.
Wait,
Because
I thought
I
we were going to
really.
Alamosa.
Oh, is that the same weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Oh yeah.
man. Well, hopefully John doesn't fly the corkscrew again. I know if he sees this somehow, he's gonna be like, "Why are you saying that?" Yeah, hopefully it really, really rains out Mini Midwest Power. Hopefully nobody gets to fly anything. I just, fingers crossed.
Party pooper.
I just want to see the corkscrew fly. It's the last time he's flying the 12-inch corkscrew. I've wanted to see it fly since I was like 10. Unbelievable.
Just make your own.
Ooh.
A 12-inch corkscrew. Yeah, you're right. Patreon.com/RocketVlogs. Dude, the funny part is I bet John would be like, take the damn thing.
Oh, for
What
sure.
about
Yeah.
dueling 12-inch corkscrews?
Oh,
Interlocking
now we're
corkscrews.
talking.
Yes.
The
There you
dual
have it.
6-inch 12-inch corkscrew drag race.
Yeah.
We were at
Just
Midwest Power
creates
when
the
Tim was
DNA.
talking about flying the 2-stage again. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but
I hope so. That'd be so
Yeah.
sick. I think it was kind of dependent on getting a motor for it again. The motor that hasn't been made for 10 years.
yeah.
They're out there. They are out there. For me in Australia, it would be one end motor or a trip to the States. Yeah, I was going to say. I can't remember. Remind me again, Jeremy, which a 29mm H was like $145 in Australia or something like that.
Whoa.
Hopefully, I didn't just like blow that number way out of the water, so it's like not that bad seeming anymore. But yeah, what's like an N3300 cost in Australia? $165 for an H. What's an N3300 cost? The inquiring minds. What about the new 6-inch motor? The 6500 White Lightning.
Oh god.
It's probably not
That's
even
one we need to
available.
throw some Garmin money at, dude.
Yeah, that one's gonna be like 15 grand.
No, it's probably
I don't even
30. It's 10 grand here.
I don't even really want
Yeah.
to fly one of those. That's
You
the
what?
one case where clustering is more of like cost effective.
By a lot.
Okay, but say Raid Shadow Legends comes out of the blue for the Rocket Flight
Well,
spawn
then,
shop
yeah.
or a sponsorship
I
with
mean-
15 Gs. We're not going to build another Punisher fin can just to fly it on an 6-inch O.
No, we would.
If it's completely
Yeah.
free, how could we not?
Well, not just a
Yeah.
6-inch O though, right?
No, of course not. We have space. We
54s?
Dude, you can fit 75s around it still.
No, you couldn't.
No, you couldn't. We could do 8 8K700s.
Oh.
No more 9-motor rockets.
All right, fine. We'll do 10K700.
We could do 6. Wait, no, we could do 9.
6K700s.
We could do 9.
Oh, there you go. 10 motor cluster.
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
between
no
each
more
fin.
9-motor clusters. We'll do it.
Yeah,
10.
exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah. Add one more.
Yeah.
Dude, that would be like full P impulse.
Yeah.
Jeremy says multiply by 2.5 landed. So yeah, the 6-inch motor would be $25,000.
$25,000. Sick.
Dude, can you
Good
imagine?
God.
What's an N3300? That's like $3 grand.
Yeah.
How much do those things cost now? Too
They're
much.
like
Air
1,000.
Command water rockets are an Aussie group. Yeah, and they're awesome. Dude, you should see the powder and air rockets they did with like the colored powder.
Oh yeah. You sent me a video of those.
It's sick. They're like doing dual deploy with water rockets and stuff. It's insane. Those guys are cool. They pop into the live streams every once in a while. They comment on stuff from time to time. I know there is at least one 25,000 in Australia. Yeah, we know where a few are.
No one's eager to get rid of them right now.
No, there's even still a vendor that has one, but it's Robert DeHate AMW, and from what I understand, the price is whatever Robert decides is worth not or for him to not be able to fly it anymore, which is similar to my N2800. Somebody asked how much. I said $5,000. Sorry, boys. If somebody offers me $5,000 for that motor, we're not flying in the Argus. I'll buy us a nice N2220 and we can all cross our fingers on that one.
We can say we can all cry.
So yeah, yeah, we probably will.
We'd be
Maybe
better
we could
off
ask
just filling
Preston
the
real
outboards.
nicely.
Yeah, there you go. The guys that flew the full scale V2 are members of our club. Yeah, okay.
That flight
As a
is
rocket
hilarious.
person, I can definitely understand the amount of effort that went into that thing, but objectively, that video is funny to watch because I understand, believe me, I understand everything worked and that's crazy, but the celebration, if you don't have the context, is so
Yeah.
funny. And the top comment is like, I think I could have thrown it higher. It's just,
Also, it's so far away.
yeah. I miss Jim Harris was making 6-inch motors that were shippable to Australia for a while.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They were like pancake grains, like 25 6-inch
Oh.
grains or something like that. 420 kilograms on the pad. Is it kilograms 2.2 pounds, right? So I got over
Yeah.
1,000 pounds.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's absurd. Matt, you're quiet. Give us some insight on the 25 grain 6-inch O's.
I think they're expensive.
They're also non-existent anymore, but we know why you were quiet over there. You're swiping the old Garmin money card for one of those 6-inch O motors from Aerotech, right?
Yeah.
You should have bought one from Tim when they were on sale. They were $3,200 off.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna
What
be
a
the biggest
steal.
single discount on any rocketry item ever.
That is crazy.
Like, come on, just grab it, treat yourself. It's $3,000 off. Only $6,800.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I think we've pretty much tapped the end of the Q&A. This has been a fun conversation. Shout out to the Victoria Rocketry Association. Yes, absolutely. For Jeremy Sim, absolutely, we'll give that shout out. Man saved me with the cheapest transmitter I've bought in years. So I can track more rockets and hopefully not put any more in the ground. I'm going to give myself the plugs and thank everybody else a chance to do their plugs. My name is Braden Carlson. You can find me on YouTube at Rocket Vlogs. And if you're watching this right now, you already have. But you can also find me on Instagram at BigB1011.
My name is Taylor Jesse, and you can find me on YouTube at The Rocket Channel.
My name
Barely.
is Shane or Postart, and you can soon find me on YouTube at Postart Propulsions.
My name is Matthew, and I thought I had a YouTube channel. I can't find it anymore. So you
The
can't
Matt
find me on
Show.
YouTube.
You have
Make a
to
new
do
one.
it.
It's out there somewhere. I don't know. I don't know.
I remember you showed me the video of you riding the old Zambezi Singer. So I know.
Yeah, that might have been somebody else's thing. But I had a Matt the Motorman channel, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just gone.
All right, we'll
Whatever.
make the Matt Show, dude. The Macho
All right,
Matt Show.
okay. The Macho Matt Show.
Matt Show Matt. Yeah, Path Touch gets
Macho
it.
Matt.
Yeah.
All right, well, go check out everybody's stuff and all the videos that I've posted and nobody else seems to be able to do. God. We are the Anti-Gravity Group. In completion, once again, since Matt is here, this is the Anti-Gravity Group podcast, and we will see you all